Hey Matt, I'm talking to you and your liberals. I'm here today talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, the shooting up in Kennesaw, Wisconsin. Matt basically texted me about this. Now, I was unfamiliar with all the details about this. I heard a little bits and pieces, and when Matt sent it to me, my assumption was like everybody else. Guy showed up at the protest and just started shooting. But when Matt texted me this, and we don't agree on a lot of things, it's got me thinking, I need to check into this. Because Matt throwing out white privilege and this and that, and so let me check into this and see what really happened. So I did. And before I begin, I want you to know that we're in this situation because Democratic mayors and governors are telling the police to stand down and let cities burn. These people are not protesters, and I'm telling you right now, they're right. I'm going to not use protesters, I'm going to use rioters because that's what they are. They're rioters. They're rioting, they're looting, they're burning down business. That's not protesting. But by basically not allowing the police to do their job, basically showing us what a world would be like without police, chaos ensues, and this type of stuff is going to happen because people are going to try to defend businesses and property. They're going to take laws in their own hands, and this is the situation that's we're happening. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that most of the information I got is from a lawyer in Wisconsin. His name's John Moreau. So we're going to get in all this, go over some things that doesn't look too good for Kyle, and actually what Kyle's defense can be. Now, I'm going to also let Matt know Kyle was not posting homicidal tendency stuff on Facebook. His posts were about Blue Lives Matter and pictures of him with a gun. Never threatened anybody, didn't threaten to shoot up a school, because that's another argument Matt is trying to make, is that he would have been a school shooter. Never posted about killing anybody or anything like that. So Matt's getting his information probably on Twitter. Fake news, Matt, fake news. But it is what it is. And I'm also going to tell you that CNN, some of the information I get, especially on the first video, because you can't see too well, and I've tried to, a lot of places, well, we don't know what happened, but there's a video. But actually, CNN supposedly have the insight, and for a organization that's trying to paint this guy as a white supremacist, they're doing a piss poor job, because videos throughout the day that they shared about this guy basically was being very polite. He's doing interviews saying, hey, I'm here to protect business, local business. He's talking to law enforcement officers. He's talking to protesters. He even offered protesters first aid and drinks. And Matt said, well, witness said he was pointing and threatening people, but this guy's been videotaped all day long, and they don't have that on camera. Matt, come on. They got everything else about this guy. Why didn't they get him threatening nobody? So, Matt, there's the video evidence suggests other than him being an antagonizer like you claim. And you can thank CNN for clearing that up. The fake news. It's funny that their narrative does not fit the videos they're showing, but fake news, what they're going to do, they're going to tell you what the video means, and you're going to believe it, Matt. I know how you are. Just quit, don't read what was going on, just watch what you should have done was just watch the videos first and then read what's going on, that way, because it seems like you were trying to make the narrative fit the videos, and it does not. Okay, first of all, it is illegal for Kyle Rittenhouse to have in possession in Wisconsin a firearm. It is a Class A misdemeanor. Now, Matt's going to argue, well, he crossed state lines, it's a felony. No, it's not. It depends on the state. If it was a felony in the state when he crossed the line, then he would get a felony. Because you crossed the line, then Matt was like, well, he was committing a crime before he crossed, so he crossed this felony. No, it's not. And plus, there's no proof he committed a crime in Illinois. Because in Illinois, you need to have a card to carry a firearm. And you must be 21 unless a person who is 21 years old and 21 or older has a card and sponsors you, you can get a card. And we don't know if that's the case with Kyle, if he has a card or not, so you cannot make an assumption up. And we'll go over some stuff here in a minute. Also in Wisconsin, you cannot use deadly force to protect business or property. Wisconsin really doesn't have a self-defense. They don't have stand your ground. Their self-defense law is basically based off the so-called castle law. You got basically, there's got to be able to prove that you could have avoided a situation without using deadly force before they can actually charge you before you can actually be convicted of a crime. In other words, somebody breaks in your house and you shoot them. If they can show that you could avoid that situation, like go out the back door, then you'll be charged with shooting the person. Or if somebody come up to you, you couldn't go away, leave, you were back in a corner and you shoot them or you kill somebody, you know. But if you weren't back in the corner and you killed somebody out and about, then they would charge you with homicide. You know, well, you could be convicted of homicide. But they can always charge you, no matter what. It depends on the jury to, you know, people misconception. Because they charge you with something doesn't mean you're guilty. That's what the court's for. They can charge you with stuff all day long, but doesn't mean you're guilty. And it's political. They had to charge this guy. But after going over this stuff, it doesn't look good for Kyle. Really doesn't. Like I said, I talked to John Moreau. So let's go over the first shooting. Now, you can't really see the video too clearly, so I'm going to tell you the description I read from CNN. Supposedly, Kyle and this guy was breaking into, was trying to damage some cars on the car lot. Surprise, surprise, this rider, who they call peaceful protesting, is trying to damage cars. Well, Kyle confronts the guy. An incident happens. Nobody knows what the incident is. CNN says it's unclear. But whatever happened, Kyle took off running. Maybe the guy slapped him, pulled out a gun. We don't know. So, as you're watching the video, you can barely see. Basically, Kyle's running away. All of a sudden, the guy stops and shoots a gun up in there. Okay? You can watch the video. That's what the CNN said. You can't see that in the video, but you do see a flash, so maybe they're right about that. But either way, you can hear two different shots. You can hear a couple shots, and they're from different guns. You can hear the difference in the gun, especially if you've been around guns. I don't know if y'all have. I know you have, Matt, so you know if you shoot one gun and you shoot another, it's a difference. So listen to the video. Multiple shots. Multiple guns, two different type of guns shooting. So when the guy shoots there, Kyle turns around and shoots the guy in the head. The guy falls down. Now, if I'm in the position, I'm trying to run away, and I got a gun, and I hear a gunshot, you damn right I'm turning around and I'm shooting. That's self-defense in my book. Now, Matt said he was there to shoot somebody. Just go shoot people. My thing is, if he was going to do that, he would have walked in shooting. He wouldn't wait until somebody tries to break in the car. Once he shot the guy, he comes to give aid. Okay, does that sound like somebody, he's on the phone calling? You know, what was he doing, calling pizza? No, he's calling help, for help. The guy just got shot. He's calling help. Well, all of a sudden you hear, hey, it's him, get him, and foot chase begins. Now, the argument can be made that these people were chasing him for a citizen arrest to keep any more shootings from happening. That's the bad part. But if you watch the video, they were trying to hurt them. That's my opinion. I mean, the argument's going to be made in court. Hey, these people were just trying to make a citizen arrest. Well, you know, I love the liberals. Double standards here. It wasn't okay for 2 people in Georgia to do that, but it's okay for a mob of 20 people. Well, one guy hits him in the head. Kyle goes down. Then the guy goes and kicks him in the head. When he kicks him in the head, Kyle fires a couple shots right in the belly. I would have done the same thing. Matt, you would have too. You know you would have. Kyle tried to run from the situation the first time and the second time. In other words, Kyle is showing that he was trying to avoid using deadly force, trying to avoid bodily harm. He's following the guidelines of the state. Okay? So this could only help him. Now, for the other guy. Comes up, pulls the gun out, and goes to aim it at Kyle. You know he's about to shoot Kyle. Kyle shoots him in the arm. Fires a couple shots and leaves. Now this crowd dispersed at this time. Now Kyle runs into cops. Hey. The cops say, hey, they don't know who he is. They're trying to get to the scene to render help. Get out of the way. And you hear them playing saying, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. Okay. But Kyle followed the state laws required to prove that he tried not to use deadly force in all of the situations. Matt's going to argue he had an illegal gun, therefore self-defense doesn't matter. No. You cannot use a gun while committing a felony. That is the law. Kyle was not committing no felony. Matt, you could say we crossed state line. Look it up, bro. He was not committing a felony. He was committing a misdemeanor class A. That's not a felony. So Kyle has followed all guidelines for self-defense, in my opinion. But ultimately, it's going to be up to the jury to decide this. Now, here's the funny thing. Here's what they charged Kyle for. They charged him for the first death for first-degree manslaughter. Why didn't he charge him for the second death? And why didn't they charge him for shooting the guy a third time? Because self-defense. Now, they are thinking about maybe charging him with reckless homicide in a second. In other words, saying his action led to the death of this guy. They're saying that he didn't come out and commit murder, but they're thinking about charging him for reckless homicide. Basically saying his action led to this. But they're not charging him for assaulting the other guy. You know why? Because he acted in self-defense, and that's the reason why they're kind of staying away from the reckless homicide. And also, to let you know, the prosecutors may be willing to make a deal with Kyle on the charge for first-degree murder. The rumor is that they're going for first-degree murder just to get him to cop out to manslaughter. Either way, I don't think he should take the deal. I think he should plead not guilty and fight it. But these are the rumors from I hear in Wisconsin. This guy is a lawyer in Wisconsin. He knows the inside scoop. But that's supposedly, so if this is a cut and case of a guy showing up to just shoot protesters, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit whatsoever. Now, another thing, Matt, I'd like to address with you. Matt has a conspiracy theory that basically Kyle was in with the cops. The cops said from the video where he was talking to the cops, well, heck, he was talking to the protesters too. Were they in on it too? Well, the rioters, were they in on it too? But he was talking to the cops before, but him and a bunch of other militia. They was also talking to these peaceful protesters, which during the day they were peaceful. Just when the lights go down, they want to burn everything. But he's saying that the cops basically told him how to kill these protesters. But they're rioters. And you can think, Matt, and you liberals, thank the Democrats for this situation. Now, don't get me wrong, Kyle should not have been involved in this. His ass should have been at home. But because he did that doesn't make him guilty. Doesn't make him a white supremacist. And Matt, you're wrong about his Facebook. You listen to Twitter, like I told you, fake news. But this is my video. And thank you, Matt, for getting me on this. You're not going to agree with this. You're going to put all kinds of stuff. You're going to say it was a felony, saying that the police told him to do this, when all evidence does not point that way. And you told me, prove to me that he wasn't antagonizing people. Well, there's videos of him all day long. Go to CNN, look it up. You will see him talking to protesters during the day. You will see him offer first aid and water to these protesters. You will see him joking around, giving interviews, just, to me, being an upstanding kid. But you are right, Matt. He should have not been there. But he was there because the Democrats are causing this. They're making the police stand down while cities burn, and America's tired of it. Now, I wouldn't be there, but if it was my business, I would be there. If somebody comes to my neighborhood, you'd be damn right. I'm going to protect it. But I'm not going to go protect somebody else's property. I'm just not going to do it. But it is the options of the U.S. citizens to stand up to these terrorists. And these looters and rioters are terrorists. They're burning. And I don't understand, Matt. You won't call it peaceful protesting. Half the place is already burnt down. That's the reason why people are coming in to protect this place. They're trying to stop this because the Democrats are not allowing the police to do their job. The mayor of Kennesaw said, let it burn. Let it burn. But I guarantee you, if they show people, these peaceful protesters show up to her neighborhood, the cops will be there to stop it, tear gas and everything. If you don't believe me, look at Mayor Lightfoot. She's allowed places to burn until it comes to her neighborhood, and then she has the police protect it. That's what's going on today. And all I got to say is, if Trump 2020, vote red all the way. This is the only way to stop this nonsense. If you like my video, hit the like button. Please subscribe and please share. Thank you.